computer. Okay, so just again, I'm recording now, and I'll be using it for future classes and posting it privately on YouTube.
Yep.
Okay, so do you have the assignment by any chance open so we can look at that?
Draw an elevation window.
Dimension.
Or
Floor line.
6'8".
We're ignoring the 6'8" in your particular condition. Detail out the sill, jam, and head detail. So we need to do the sill detail call out and then the jam detail call out.
Okay. So
just use your floor plan level 1, and you can do one of the jams there. You know what? I'm going to say let's do the jam with the column in between your windows. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter, but that's just kind of different. View, because remember we're creating a way to look at a piece of our drawing. There you go.
Then just kind of over this piece right here.
Yeah. Go, and that's going to be our jam detail. Double click on the bubble and that'll pull it up and you'll be able to see which one it is. What's that south wall section? Is that it?
No.
No. We're in it. It should be highlighted. There it is.
Window jam?
Jam and column detail, because that's the piece that's kind of pulling that up. Jam is J-A-M-B.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. We know that architects are not spellers.
Yeah. C-O-L-U-M.
N. Put an N at the end. There you go. So here's kind of the basic rule about structure is if you have a beam, you need half as many pieces of what the beam is made of to hold up the ends, right?
Okay.
So that makes sense because if you had 4 2x10s, right? The beam on one end, the column on one end is holding up half of that. So that would be 2 2x10s. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But of course, we only have this little 2x6 stud wall. So we're going to need to probably put 2 2x6 is not going to do it. So let's see if we can get 3 2x6s in there.
The nominal cut?
Yes. We should be able to get at least 3 in there.
Okay. Um, then I want to line them up to the top edge right here.
No, you're going to line them up to the inside of that drywall unless you want them showing, right?
Oh, to um,
Modify, not manage.
there it is. Basically,
Nope,
yeah.
inside of the drywall.
Oh,
Right there. Tab till you get that. There you go. That's the line. Your multiple alignment. Align up that one. That's it. Pick it. Go. You're going to need to line up with each other. So you want to get that one kind of centered, and then you know what? Do we have room for another one in there?
I'm sure we do.
Let's put them all, line them all up, as many as we can get in there.
I can get 4.
Okay, what's left over in that space?
I have no idea. One and a quarter.
All right, so this is what we'll do. We'll put 2 layers of 3/4 inch plywood
Okay.
in there. So just move one of those over like a 3/4 of an inch. And we'll just put 3/4 inch plywood in there. Start at the bottom. Remember, you draw it all up. There we go.
Should I put probably these 2 right together in the middle, then another piece of 3/4 on this side?
I like that. I like that.
That's good.
Okay, no, it can't be 2 3/4 because that's 1.5 inches. It's you're going to have 3/4 and a 1/2 inch sheet. That's why it's
So
okay.
then do a half.
Yeah, because that's too small for the 3/4. I had a senior moment there.
So instead of
No, that one's okay. It's just the next
this one's got to be
yeah.
all right. All right. There's that.
Okay, so there's only one other thing we might want to do here. Is I'm not seeing any trim. So we want to get a line to kind of represent that piece of trim that goes over.
Kind of like right here.
No, because that would be sticking into the sash. It'll come from, say, the edge of the right and just kind of overlap a little bit of that frame and just be a piece of trim. So like right in the middle of that little piece of frame. Like right, yes. Go up about, oh, do you want 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch trim?
3/4 probably.
Yeah. Nope, and you're going the other way, to the right. This is that piece of, you actually show it in your elevation as two pieces, like your window trim. You've got a little tiny strip of gypboard.
Right.
So we kind of need to reproduce that here.
Okay.
Or you can case the whole thing out and we'd have to change the window, which is going to be a little complicated, but we could look at that.
It's probably like 1 inch.
No, I think it's more than that. It's probably maybe 1.5 inches. We can actually, you can just go and measure it in the elevation. Just open that elevation window up. That's your section. Oh, elevation, upper right window.
Oh.
How much is that trim shown? Oh, it's more like 3-inch trim. Okay.
Then I want to repeat that over here too, don't I?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And the same thing on the outside. Good. So pick all those pieces and let's do a mirror. Do you know how to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
There. There they are.
There's that.
Okay, so you need the sill detail, and of course you're gonna annotate these. You're gonna, call out every single piece you can see there.
Okay. All right. Where do I want? Like
Sill detail, you're gonna need to go to your wall section.
this one, or no? It would be the actual.
Yeah, it'd be the actual one. I believe it's the south wall section here because you've got your north wall section because you've got it backwards. I'm sorry, that was.
Yeah. Then down here.
Yep. You might as well go down in the floor Get some of those details there. That's good.
Okay.
Okay. Well, since we've made that, why don't we drag and drop those onto your sheet so your sheet's all set up? It's up at the top because it's an A. Line it up with your, those two should line up together on top of each other. Okay.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, and get your jam detail. Gets off to the side. Okay, so the scale of that needs to match your other ones. Inch.
Inch.
Mhm. Okay, now they're all an inch. Okay, can you zoom in a little? Because I would like those walls to line up with each other. So go to annotate, detail line, do a thin line. Thin line. Go. And just draw a straight line down where you want that, no, where you want the edge of your, I'm talking vertically, not there, not on the edge, but where you want your wall to line up, so that where the inside face of your wall is going to line up.
So like right there.
Straight down past. Okay. This is just a construction line. Okay.
Okay.
So now you want to pick that detail.
And basically move from here to there.
Yep. That's close. Use your arrow key. You can't really snap to it because there's no ends, but that's really close. And do the same thing at the top. Nope, too much.
I think that's probably.
Yep, and now erase those construction lines. Okay, and so you never want to move those now that you don't move both of them, right?
Right.
Because they're lined up.
Okay.
Yeah, jam detail. Oh, you'll finish out your jam detail. You'll put a 2x6 sill plate and a 2x6 sole plate. You know, put in your anchor bolt and your rim joist and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Okay, and then call it all out.
So basically just how it's laid out in the actual
Wall
north
section.
wall.
Yeah. You want well, you're going to get see the mud sill, the sole plate there. You're going to get another one up above.
Okay.
That's what holds up your window.
Okay. So
You know that if
basically,
you hit not the minimize, the little minus sign on the other windows, they'll drop down at the bottom here, and then you can tile those two separately.
oh, I had no idea.
Okay, so there, yeah, minimize that one, that one. Now, if you hit WT, those two windows are the only things that tile.
Okay.
And now you can really see what's going on.
And so basically, I'll just transfer all this information over to here.
Yep.
Because then you said.
So pick that lower, that mud sill. Not that. There we go. And just copy it up underneath your window. Because remember, there's a beam above this, so there's nothing. The only load there is that window. That's the only thing you're holding up. And granted, it's a big, heavy, 8-foot window, but you're just holding it up between two 16-inch studs.
Right.
The 2x6, if you're feeling like that's a lot of weight, it doesn't hurt to double that top one.
No.
Just to kind of.
Yeah, because that's kind of how we were doing windows in the apartments, where we'd have the bottom and the top plate. Because it just extra security.
Yeah. Well, you always get the bottom and the top plate, but you might double that top plate if you felt that was a really big load.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then basically I'll just go through, label everything like I have it in the regular plan. Okay.
What else is in the assignment that we need to cover?
Oh, detail, seal jam, head detail. Do not copy examples, but rather piece together. Annotations for parts, materials, dimensions. Compose a sheet in your Revit.
Okay. So here's the part that we haven't done. We have not created unique components and material labels.
Okay.
Well, you will label the materials, but we have to make some unique components.
Okay.
All right, we're going to, how about a baseboard?
Just detail line.
Well, you could do it that way, but then it isn't a component. Then it's just a drawing piece.
Okay.
I'm going to show you how to make a component.
All right.
Okay. So we want to go to the Revit, the application menu, and start a new family.
Okay.
The big purple R is the application menu.
Oh.
New family. Okay. All right. So, when you've got a family of windows, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to create a family. All right.
Okay.
And so we need a detail. Try detail line based. There we go. And we're going to open that up. Okay. All right. So here is how this works. We're looking at the plan, right? Oh. Yep. So we want to look at the. Can we get an elevation? Go up to view. No, doesn't let us do that. Let's close this file and see if there's like a different template that we can use. New family. Look under annotations. Let's see what's under there. If we got one. No, these are all. No, that's not going to work. Okay, so we're going to go up. Balusters, casework, column, data panel. Maybe just a plain old detail item. Okay, let's try that.
Okay.
Okay, so where those green dashed lines, they're called reference planes, okay? And when you put your cursor on, say, a wall, and you see that dashed line up the middle, that's its reference plane, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to create a baseboard where that intersection is actually the lower right corner where it shoves up against the wall. Okay?
So like this would be the wall and this
that
would be the floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's see if we can do this. So just draw, let's start with just a rectangle that's baseboard sized. So it's, let's say it's yeah, that looks good. Okay. Right. Let us save that. Save it as a family. Okay, put it somewhere where you know where you can find it. You know, probably in the CAD file.
Yeah.
And call it baseboard. Okay. All right, let's load it into your project and see and make sure it works before we do a whole lot of drawing. Okay, go into your sill detail. There it is. Works just fine. Okay, put it in there. Escape. Okay, let us go back to it and we'll put like a quarter round on it, or we'll make it really lovely. Okay, if you go up to the application menu, you should be able to get what's open. That's things that you, oh, okay.
Okay. Got it.
Where's our lovely little, there it is.
Where'd it go? No.
Go up to the, oh, I gotta take that, give me a sec.
Yep.
Nope. Okay, nope, that wasn't the doctor, we're good.
Oh. Okay, where'd it go?
Okay, go up to the purple application menu. Baseboard family, no, it's open already. Back there, there you go, pick that. And it should open it up, there it is.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got a chunk of, oh, lots of calls. Okay, so we have like a good chunk of that, your foundation is showing up there. So we want this to be like fairly thick. You might want to, so you probably want to get like a nice big quarter round down here and maybe a little thickness detail at the bottom.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what quarter round is?
like where it kind of rounds out at the top?
No, it's like, have you ever seen like it on the side of the baseboard, that little curved quarter circle piece sits on the floor, covers
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's quarter round. You want to do an arc with the center? Nope, up above that one. That one. Nope, to the right. Start with, I believe you start with the center. There you go. You go up the baseboards. Let's make it, oh, ooh, 1 inch seems kind of huge. Make it 3/4 inch. There we go. And then, no, pull the curve the other way, and there it is.
Then,
Pretty big. Okay, so, you know, close that with the bottom, you know, join the, do a corner join at the other pieces. Corner join, right, in the modify panel. There you go. Go.
okay.
Good. I don't know, put some fancy detail up higher. You could cut out a little band, like a little half round out of it, or put a little, you know, half round on it, or you could round the top corner, or you could, I mean,
like kind of like do the same thing from here up here.
you could do that, yeah, and that'll give you a rounded top. It won't hold dust as well.
Let's see.
Create. Go into the Create tab.
There it is.
And it's a line.
Oh.
Start at the corner.
Right here?
No, the wall side. Okay. Go to the left to that corner, right? And now go up.
There we go.
Okay. That make you I mean, it's,
Yeah.
you may want to look at some actual baseboards because it's kind of out of proportion, but let's
Right.
Load into project. It's going to come up with a menu because it's already there. Overwrite with its parameter values. We don't have any, but that's sort of generally what you do. And so
Okay.
go look at your section and you should be able to see.
No, not that one.
Not that one.
No.
It'll be the last one you pick, you know.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. Now take a look. See how much distance you've got left where you've got concrete sitting there. You may want to create a baseboard that's wider that will cover that seam up.
Okay.
And you might think about something like leaving a little space behind it and call it out as a space for future network wiring or something like that, because it's going to make it a very thick baseboard.
Right.
So you might want to kind of give it a reason to be in there. That makes sense?
Yeah. That's an inch and 7/8. That's a.
So you got to get it like another 2 inches in there. That's a pretty fat baseboard, so it's probably going to want to be a little higher.
Yeah.
But you can fuss with that till you're happy. But in essence, you've made the requirement, which is to create a custom component. That's the really basic introduction to making your own components.
Right.
Okay. The next
Okay.
step is to make one that can change. So you might have like your 2 by 8 inch baseboard, and then you have the smaller versions, the way you have the window in the different sizes.
Okay.
And that's kind of the next thing you do. It's you can change it a little, but we're not getting into that right now.
Okay.
Let's look at that assignment again and just make sure we haven't missed anything. Elevation of your window and dimension. Did that. Include a floor line and dimension how far from the floor your window sill is. We did that.
Yeah.
We did it to the glass, but that makes more sense because that's the code requirement.
Right.
Top of your window head should be at 6'8". We're ignoring that. Detail out a sill. We got one. A jamb and a head detail based on your unique details. Do not copy. Okay. Include annotation for parts and materials. You've got to do that, but you can do that. Include dimensions. Your scale is bigger. Just personally, saying that it has to be, I would have labeled this minimum 1/2 inch equals 1 foot.
Right.
And if you're bigger, that's better.
Yeah, because that way you can see the fine detail points.
Yeah, and if you need it, I don't want people to put in. What I want students to develop is the skill to pick the right size for the scale, and
Right.
they put this in so that you don't put it in at 1/8 inch, and you don't have to do the kind of work, or you don't have to do the fine detailing. So you're good with that.
Like basically, if the sheet allows you to go to a little bit bigger scale,
yeah,
with the adequate space, by all means do so.
Yeah, it's about developing that professional eye of what size detail you need.
Right.
And how it's going to fit on your sheets. Compose that, and okay, that's everything. So all you really need to do is finish it out.
Just go through and label it all and
label it and dimension things that need dimensioning, and call out your custom baseboard design.
Right.
And make sure you put it in the big detail as well as the little detail so you get the same baseboard.
Okay.
Coordinate your drawings is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So that way they all look alike.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Is there anything else? So next week, I looked ahead, and next week is doors. So we're doing the same bloody thing, but just for doors.
Okay.
So like if you were sitting around the pool writing unscented note papers and eating bonbons, if you wanted to get a start on that, just move one of your details till it cuts a door.
Okay.
And that's, I believe, next week. Since you're kind of got your brain in detailing openings right now. Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm basically gonna take for this one, basically take the baseboard and put it into here.
Open. Let me show you. Open the other one.
This one.
And go to component. Insert a component. See, there's your baseboard. Just drop it in there.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Then, yeah, because I just changed that to custom baseboard, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so when you build this component, you know, if you opened another project, it won't be in there, but you can
Okay.
certainly load it.
Okay.
It's like any other component. You have just built your own personal component.
Okay.
Okay.
Then basically in the jam detail, I basically want to call out the 4 2x6 with 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch OSB plywood.
Yeah, what I would call it out as, let's call it out as spacer plywood
Okay.
as required.
Okay.
Because you know how when you're building stuff, it doesn't, I mean, if we say it's 3/4 and 1/2 and something kind of goes awry, they got no room to adjust.
Right.
Okay, and it might be that the window they pick needs a bigger rough opening, and maybe they have to take out one of those.
Okay. Now, could I move this 2x6 over to right here?
Yes.
Oh, oops.
You might want to undo the multiple alignments since you're having to.
Oh. Because then I can probably put another 3/4 instead of the 1/2.
Yeah. Or, oh, don't erase it. Undo, undo. Just remember, pick it, change it to 3/4.
I've still got the gap.
Move everything to the center and leave that as your rough opening space.
Kind of like that.
Instead of aligning the two outside 2x6s with the edge of the frame, pull them in because you're going to need some space. You don't actually really nail to those. You nail the fins, right?
Yeah.
You put in the window, right?
Yeah.
There's a little space there next to the frame, and you pop your window in and you nail the fin around the window to the front and back of the wall.
Kind of like that. Then.
Yep. Other way. You got it backwards.
Oh, whoops.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
I think that's everything.
Okay. Remind me next week to talk about how we choose one option, and we'll get rid of those option pieces.
Okay. I will try to remember that.
Yeah, and we got to make sure that we get everything copied into the main model. Okay?
Okay.
So don't draw anything on the wood shakes. Only draw it in the main model or the wood siding, because we're going to accept the wood siding as our option, which means
Okay.
the shakes will go away and everything in them disappears.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. I think that's all I can think of.
Okay. All right, we're
All
good.
Appreciate it.
Are Fridays not working anymore, or
Um,
where should we put it?
Last night I no more than got out of the academy and went and had an appointment to go finish my tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
And next week my wife will be out at 6 because yesterday she was home all day. So it'd still work out for me.
Okay, all right. So we'll plan on Friday unless something goes awry.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank
All
you
right.
so much. I'm going to stop recording.